Hey ladies and gents, blessings. I wanted to share with you a dream which God gave me about Lebanon and potentially a prophetic future for Lebanon. The reason for me having this dream was that I actually asked God to show me about Lebanon. I've been there before and have had a burden for it. So that's the backstory. So I dreamt this on September the 20th, 2022. I was in Beirut in an old French-style apartment with the tall ceilings, and there was it was like a Christian couple that I was staying with, and they had like a little prayer room. So going into the prayer room, it had like cedar panels and a big mirror along the far wall of this room. But when I looked into that mirror, it never really truly reflected back the layout of the room. The room looked different if you looked at it in the mirror than if you actually looked at it in real life. So I came out of that room, and as I came out of the room, it sort of adjoined the lounge living room area. And immediately to my right hand side was a table and a telephone. And then on the wall was a postcard like of the ocean, like a tourist postcard. And this postcard said Juni, which is that town just north of Beirut. I was sitting in the lounge, and I was surrounded by loads and loads of kids, loads of children. And they handed me a balloon. They were like, you need to pop this balloon. So they gave it to me, and it was actually a red balloon. But then there was another balloon as a layer over it, and which was black. So I blew up this balloon, and the kids were cheering in the background, pop it, pop it, pop it. It went like it was actually really difficult to blow up, and it got really big. And I tried to pop it, but it was very difficult. So in the end, I ended up biting into it, and even that was hard to pop. Once this balloon popped, it made a massive bang. It was like not a normal balloon popping. It was like an explosion. And at the exact same time that this balloon exploded, there was a man in the room who said, Hezbollah. The kids in the room were shooken up by the loudness of this explosion, and they were covering their ears with this really like half shocked, half scared look in their eyes. So after the man said Hezbollah, I looked into an adjoining dining room from the living room. There were two maps on the wall. The one map was a map of Iran with the flag of Iran. And then immediately next to the flag and map of Iran was an old map of Yugoslavia. So after that, I proceeded to wake up. My preliminary thoughts on the dream, and this is all subject to interpretation and not necessarily facts, but my understanding of the dream is that the mirrors represented how things in this room, in this prayer room, aren't what they seem. You know, like maybe that's a greater snapshot of what Lebanon is like. Maybe even because it was a prayer room, maybe the whole spiritual religious sects in Lebanon, maybe it's nothing what it seems. Coming out of the room and seeing that postcard on the wall that said Juni, maybe perhaps a future event where something significant might come out of that region or town that might sort of ignite Lebanon as a whole. The children and the black balloon, perhaps the results of the balloon popping and Hezbollah being involved, is for a future generation, because it was the children that were quite severely affected. From what I understand, a black balloon popping in a dream isn't normally necessarily a good thing. It represents death and destruction and chaos. And if it wasn't for the immediate explanation of what made the balloon pop and made that big bang, I would have been a lot more concerned. Obviously, looking straight across to the map of Iran, that's a connection that I already knew. Like, I know that Hezbollah and Iran have a connection, so that was nothing new to me. What was a surprise was seeing the old Yugoslavia map, and after the dream I actually had to sort of research it, finding out that during the 1975 to 1990 Lebanese Civil War, there were quite a few similarities and references made to the bloody and brutal civil war in Yugoslavia. And in some ways, one can maybe see Lebanon as a similar case study and or similar society where you not only have multi-ethnicities in the country, but you also got multi-religious sects going from Maronite to Druze to Sunnis to all sorts. I'm not including all of them because I don't know all of the types of sects. But it just seems like this was a huge cause for the previous civil war, and it's a potential maybe for a future issue and problem there. I just kind of asked God to show me more about it, and if you guys feel it's relevant to you, like I would just say pray and ask God to ask God to keep the country safe and secure, and that the righteous could be spared. Thank you very much for listening. God bless. Bye-bye.